Hello and welcome to another episode of Not For Nothing. This is a very lovey-dovey episode in honor of Valentine's Day. Are those little hearts?
Yeah. This is how the kids are doing it.
So let's get saucy.
Let's get saucy. Well, speaking of, actually, this is how the kids are doing
This is
it.
yeah.
Which is so hard to do.
Okay, so this
So
is
much
the
easier.
classic.
This is millennial.
This is millennial.
And this
No,
is...
millennial is the like doing it together, like the sorority photo. Okay, so they do.
Elder millennial, I guess. And this is Gen Z.
Which fingers are you putting down?
I don't know. Now I can't. It's hard. I think they do this.
Okay, so
I'm like literally throwing up gang signs right now.
yeah, I'm like, I really don't know how this one works.
Anyway, happy Valentine's Day.
And let us
Tomorrow's
know.
the big day.
So what has been one of the best Valentine's Day you have ever had?
I've had two notable Valentine's Days that I'll always remember. One was with a best friend,
Love that.
where we just were both single that year, and we both just were like, you know, we're not gonna like fall into this trap of being like single saddies.
Yeah.
We're gonna be single baddies, and we like took advantage of like couples pricing. So we went out to dinner
Love that.
and just chilled out. She brought me flowers, which was a nice addition. I brought her like a gift bag because it was also Fashion Week. So I had like
Cool.
I was at like some runway show bullshit and was like, here you go. I got this at Fashion Week. Like, you know, here's a little gifty. And like, we just had a great night and then like smoked and chilled. And yeah, it was fun. It was a fun singles day.
Love that.
And then last year was super fun.
Yeah.
I went to a weed feed dinner.
Oh, that's right.
It was so nice. It was like a multi-course meal.
Yeah.
That was infused, and it was just so beautiful. So that was a really fun Valentine's Day.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I mean, I was
wanna
not
do
there,
it
but I
again.
remember hearing about it.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm thankful to have been there. Definitely recommend. They did it in collaboration with a restaurant in the Lower East Side.
Mhm.
And so like all of the meals were that restaurant's like, I think they worked on the menu together.
I love that.
And it was like 6 courses or something. Amazing.
I think rule of thumb, the best Valentine's Day will always combine weed and food.
Always.
And then
agree.
you're for sure going to have a good time.
That goes for any day of my life, actually.
But
Any day that I'm
Yes.
supposed to be happy, or I'm
Yes.
trying to create a setting that makes me really happy, birthday, Valentine's Day, whatever,
those are
weed and food.
Yeah. And that's
Every
how
time.
that's how I live life, and it makes me happy.
Yep.
And my ex and I used to have a tradition where we would go try out different barbecue spots in New York and get like disgustingly baked before
I love that.
and just like eat a ton of barbecue food. And it would be super fun and super good because it's like kind of pricey if you're like
Yeah.
trying a bunch of meats. Like,
What's your favorite side at barbecue?
I mean, I like having multiple
Okay, let's
because
hear
I
'em.
feel like they're all different, right? I like having coleslaw because it
Mhm.
brings like some freshness to the
Mhm.
meat.
Cuts it.
Yeah. I love baked beans.
Okay. I didn't even think of that as a side option.
Yeah, so good. And then mac and cheese, but I also love having a little bit of cornbread too.
I was gonna say just straight up corn.
I don't love corn because it gets stuck in my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this convo, but I have a retainer on my bottom teeth,
Mhm.
and so corn I can only eat that in the privacy of my home.
Mm-hmm. It's like eating a mango.
Yeah, but I love corn. I just can't do corn on the cob.
I get it completely. I understand.
So that was a really fun tradition.
So you did that on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
That's cute.
like
That's very
every
cute.
year for a few years. And then last year, Alyssa, Robert, and I just like ordered really tasty dumplings
Mm-hmm.
and had like a little night at home with Cody and a
That's so
bunch of
cute.
weed, and it was just like, you know,
I do love French Valentine's Days too. I really do.
because okay, here's my long rant about Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, my grandma, not the soup one, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Her birthday was on Valentine's Day, which is super cute, and her name is Juliet, or was Juliet, which I think is also super cute because it's like Romeo and Juliet, and like
Mhm. It's a romantic name.
It's all very romantic. But there's such a focus on it being about couple romance.
Yeah, romantic love.
But it's a celebration of love, and it's the love of food, it's the love of weed, it's the love of good company, and I think it should just be a day of indulgence and not a day of like feeling sad because you're not in a couple.
I completely agree with you, and I don't necessarily think your happiest years of your life are the years that you're coupled up either.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of trials and tribulation that people are forgetting about that comes with being in a relationship,
and pressures. Like I remember we talked about this in one of the episodes of like I had a horrible relationship my freshman year of college, and one of the biggest fights we had were on Valentine's Day, and it's because he had like built up all these like pressures in his mind, and he was like, I don't have the money to like take you out and do all this stuff because I like spent all this money on like acid
drugs and other women.
And like I'm just not good enough for you, like, and I was like, I didn't ask for any of like this is like, I don't want to, why is this a big deal? I never said this was a big deal for me. I am not a big deal kind of person, which is even more weird. I just thought it'd be like cool to, you know, like spend time together, but you know, whatever. I guess we don't have to.
Not that I have much of a choice.
So yeah, like dope, okay. But I like viewing it now, and even if I were in a couple, I think I would still want to spend it with friends. Like it's a fun time to just like do fun stuff. Also, I love hearts.
Yeah, same.
I now love pink, but like I love Valentine's Day aesthetic.
Me
like,
too. I love the combo of pink and red, and throw in some white.
I love cute. I love chocolate.
I remember also, I think back to the days in elementary school when we had to give Valentines to everybody in the class if we were going to give them out. And I just think that was so cute. Like, I remember coming home with like a whole bag of Valentines, and they just had like characters of that time period on it. Like there were Hello Kitty, remember Happy Bunny? Happy Bunny, like all these like Sanrio characters. I just remember like where you'd get like a pack of like fruit snacks with it, you know, or a lollipop, and it's just like,
or those little sugar candies.
And it was so cute, like coming home and unboxing it, you know, and being like, oh, this is what this kid picked out, how cute, you know. And even if it just had your name on it and no special message, it was just like a cute thing to receive. So I think that that's the energy we need to bring to Valentine's Day.
Agreed. Like there's such a, I feel like we grew up with the movies that were like sad girl Valentine's Day parties,
right? Like throwing the chocolate across the room.
And I'm like, it doesn't need to be this angry thing where you're like trying to find your empowerment through the fact that you're not in a couple. It's literally just about love.
Enjoy yourself.
Love of what? Like if it's loving your pet, have yourself a little cuddle day. Like,
and if you don't want to make a big deal out of it, you also don't have to do that either.
It's literally not a big deal,
and it is more avoidable than you think. I feel like people make it like, I'm not going outside because I don't want to see all the Valentine's Day stuff. And it's like, remove yourself from that bitter mindset and find ways that you can enjoy yourself and honor what you love to do and who you love and like all things love.
Like I love seeing Valentine's Day stuff, even though I'm very much single.
And like, I've also entered a era of healing where I don't have expectations for Valentine's Day. Not that it's not nice. You know, it's nice to receive flowers. It's nice to receive chocolate, especially.
But it also
if you
doesn't
are in a
need to be that.
But I don't need to build it up that way. Like
yeah, my ex and I didn't
special.
We didn't get anything for each other. It was
give
just
me
like,
extra kisses, like,
or let's go for like an actually like terpy meal. You know,
right?
Like something we've been like, it's been on our list for a minute of wanting to try something.
Yeah,
like,
I totally
let's
agree.
celebrate us.
Yep.
Let's get a foot massage together.
That part. I love getting massages together for Valentine's Day.
We wouldn't do it for Valentine's Day, but I feel like
to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, or I feel like it would always be like a gift for one another for like birthdays or something. It would be like a couple's massage.
Yeah.
And that's really fun.
A lot.
And it's a gift for you and it's a gift for them. And wait, did we talk about this? How my ex for maybe it was Valentine's Day, like in the first few years we were dating, thought he bought us couples massage pass, but it was a couples massage class.
Oh no, we never talked about that. I didn't know that. So you learned how to be a masseuse?
This was like the most uncomfortable experience of my life.
This sounds like some Groupon bullshit.
It was. But that's what also made it so special, because I'm like, you know, you're clearly like in your 20s, early 20s, and you're like just trying to do something special, but it's Groupon. And so now you're in this like tantric massage class with all these like 60-year-olds.
It's tantric?
Yeah, it was like, it was about like healing and like couples therapy.
Oh my God.
But we didn't, that's not how it was advertised.
Right.
And we get there and I'm like, wait, why is this like in a big room with a bunch of massage beds? Like, are we just getting massaged in public like this?
And you're like, yes. And as a matter of fact, you're going to be the massage dummy.
And then the instructor was like, okay, so one of you get on the bed. And I was like, one of us? What?
You're like taking your slippers off, ready to jump on the bed. And you're like, one of us get on the bed?
So yeah, that was truly incredible.
Oh my God.
I think keeping it goofy is also key to a good Valentine's Day.
Yes. That's also a sign that you're with like a partner that you are enjoying your time together, is like when you can be goofy in times like that. Like, oh, the date didn't go the way you expected, or like there's an unexpected curveball. It's like, okay, let's roll with it and we'll laugh about it later. Versus
like somebody who's just having the most horrible time and it's just like we were clearly,
you resent your partner for it. Like,
we were both very socially anxious people, and so it was even more hilarious because we were both like, oh my God,
like, I'm gonna have to get on this table right now in front of everyone.
Like, this is, and then the instructor kept like, we think she like wanted to join us because she kept like
physically,
she kept like spending more time with us and then like guiding our hands.
She could see that you guys were the funnest.
And I was like, this is a twosome.
Right. We're not opening up. We're not
that cool. But that was great. And I think people need to embrace the goofiness more. There's such a, like, I get it. It's sad. I'm obviously like, there are times where I'm like, wait, I wish I wasn't single, almost 30 person. Yeah. But I'm also like, I have an incredible community of friends, and that's who I want to like spend my time with.
Speaking of being single, like after eras of
how does it feel?
Trust me, I know how it feels. Been there, baby. Been there.
Tell me about your experience.
No. Like, I could write a whole novel.
Like, it's a great time.
No, but like after like eras of healing, what are some signs that you're ready to start dating again? For me, I feel like when I stopped feeling bitterness completely, like, and authentically about my previous relationship, that's when I was like, okay, I think like I'm ready to start seeing other people now. I'm ready to like, I'm not like, when you realize that you're not treating someone else as a means to an end either. Yeah. And you're just like, okay, my intentions are totally like pure and open. Like, I know what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to settle for anything other than that. And I'm dating with intention. Yeah. I think that's how I knew.
I feel like it's when the Delulu phase starts. When you're like, wow, I just locked eyes with this person. Like, maybe we'll fall in love. Okay, and you start being like, wait, I might actually be excited about the prospect of like something else in my life. Okay. Like, somebody like tapped me on the shoulder in class the other day being like, hey, you. And I was like, flirty. Oh my God. I was like, someone's flirting with me. And I wasn't like absolutely disgusted by that either, you know, like, versus a few months ago, if anybody would like him, like, you were literally presently there when I was going through this like huge crush on this kid who I was clearly not ready to be emotionally entangled with.
You already knew based on your target. You were like, this person is not somebody I want to date. Yeah. I was like,
he's just so cute.
You're like, he's cute and I like the delusion of it all.
Yeah. And then when we were like at a party all together and like we didn't speak.
You're like, ew.
But then he soft launched his girl and it was kind of like, I didn't feel bad about it. I mean, I was sad at first and then I was like, wow, I'm so glad. And I think that's a sign of like, you're good.
Yep. And I like that can kickstart you into I'm ready to date again.
Yeah, you needed a first like Delulu crush. Yeah. To start realizing that you're like ready to open yourself back up emotionally in that sense.
When you realize you're open to a third. I'm just kidding.
Like when you're not physically like annoyed at getting a text.
Yes.
Because that's kind of how it was. He was like texting me and I was like, Sarah, like, I don't know what to answer because like I'm just like so uncomfortable.
Right. And like it's more natural. You're like, I'm ready to like text someone out of interest and not
need my friend's advice on how to text back. Like
Right.
you'll just know.
Or like wanting to play games where you're like, he just texted me back, so I'm gonna wait.
Oh,
I'm gonna wait an hour and I'll
I was being
reply.
such a dick. I was like, these were such like crafted responses that were being sent like 2 hours or 4 hours later, like,
which is so ridiculous. Like no one's that busy. Like I'm sure you could be that busy.
I was that busy at times, but like also the fact that my answers were like so disingenuous, and I was also like, there's a 3-hour time zone. Like I need the advice from my East Coast friends. Like,
right.
Please wait for the.
Oh my God.
But I think that's the sign that you're ready to go.
Have you ever gotten like a unique Valentine's Day gift?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I haven't gotten many Valentine's Day gifts, let's be real.
Other than the massage class?
No, that's actually a really good one, honestly. I don't know how you'll top it. I've gotten like, my good boy has gotten me flowers and chocolate.
Yeah.
Basic though, you know.
Yeah.
Love him to death, but basic. I think I'm ready for like something more unique, or something handmade, or an act of service.
Yeah, I feel like act of service I'll take. I don't need more crafts in my house.
Like clean my room for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
do something I just don't want to do. That's a beautiful gift.
Drive for me.
That's you already got to do that. I'm like, that's a daily gift.
Wait, that was my favorite TikTok I've seen recently. Did I send it to you? Where it was like the equivalent of the New York City passenger princess is having the one friend on Google Maps and the one who's like not paying attention at all.
No.
And I was like, that's so true.
Is that me?
Do you find yourself often in that situation in New York where you're not the navigator?
Oh, you mean people who are native to New York?
Or, yeah, like people who are in New York because we don't drive. Being the passenger princess is being like the one friend that's like not checking Google Maps on like how to get somewhere.
Oh, 100%.
You're just like coasting by with your friend.
I saw a version of that was like, you're hanging out with other people in New York and you're the one friend who doesn't need Google Maps to get around.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Okay. All right, cool.
I will say, and I haven't even thought, this is just something I've been thinking about recently, where like as we get older, we start noticing some stuff that we should have noticed when we're younger. I was thinking back on a situation a few years ago when I was with a group of people and this guy like I kind of liked, and literally we didn't know where to go, and I was like saying where to go, and he was like, oh, let's listen to this one guy, and I was like, this guy moved here like 3 years ago. I was born here.
That would give me the ick.
And I was just thinking about it recently where I was like, wow, I was totally undermined in this like very random situation many years ago.
Like he was making suggestions on like cool places.
No, like we knew the place to go. They were like, should we walk this street or this street? And I was like, it's down here. And they were like, oh, I think it's this way.
I would never disrespect you like that ever. Because you're also MapQuest.
You're
like, MapQuest as hell.
I'm like, I'm not like, I've been here for a minute.
You're also just extremely good with maps.
And it was so weird. I was like, wow, you really don't know me.
Like at all. Like I would trust you with my life when it comes to a map. If you told me, okay, turn left. You know, I started to remember like scary things of college where like you're so drunk and like somehow by yourself and you're like, which I don't know how or why that would happen. If I'm going to leaving one party or something, Irish exiting, and meeting my friends at another, and like,
yeah, how did you get places?
Mostly by foot.
No, but like geographically, like
my friend Ray. Listen, I'm a passenger princess.
Yeah, that's what I was
I'll always
saying.
be a passenger princess.
I haven't seen you that, like, I see you when you're going to your own house, like looking it up and stuff, but like,
no.
Were you the itinerary queen? No.
No. Me and my friend Ray were just like codependent on each other.
Yeah.
And he had a car. So we would just be legitimately everywhere together. Oh, that's such a good story, actually.
Yeah. Go for it.
My friend Ray in college was pledging a fraternity. And
shit happens.
Yeah. And shit definitely did
Everybody
happen.
makes mistakes.
Mostly Hurricane Sandy in this case. So Hurricane Sandy happened mid pledge process.
Wow. That was your freshman year?
This was our sophomore year. Hurricane Sandy happened and Long Island obviously got hit hard.
So hard. I mean, everywhere. But yeah, Long Island was bad.
So like a lot of people who went there, they were commuters. Their houses like were destroyed or like whatever.
Yeah. And
like school was so hard at that point and unfair to those people that they had to make all classes that semester were pass fail.
Cool.
worked out in my advantage.
Yeah.
Because I was taking, I think, like research methods and like psych.
SPSS.
Oh my God. Yes. Hellish. So I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to take a pass fail. I knew I would pass, but I was like, if I didn't pass, it would ruin my GPA a little bit. So you got to pick which classes you wanted to do pass fail. So I picked, and it was just like that one. Anyway, things were different. Like it was impossible to get gas on the island. It was like really hard to get around. And when you're pledging back then, there was like a lot of like things that you could do or that they could tell you to do.
Yeah.
So they were like, you're not allowed to speak with anyone that's not your immediate family for like these weeks, whatever. And you can't like do anything recreationally. You're not allowed to like go out to bars or anything.
That's crazy.
Like, I mean, not really. It was like the norm. That was like the bare minimum. So they were saying like you couldn't do that. Anyway, one day my friend Ray, like obviously we were breaking that because we were super codependent. So like every minute of the day he'd be like, what's up? Like, and we took so many classes together too. Like we would plan our schedules every semester with each other. So we took, he was like, meet me here after class. Like, let's go to the mall. And like, again, at this point I didn't have my license. I was this passenger princess everywhere.
How are you getting to the mall?
His car.
Okay.
Which had some gas, but like obviously he couldn't refill his gas tank because none of the gas stations were like operating.
Yeah.
And they were long, insane lines, price gouging. It was insane. So we go to the mall. Oh, also part of the pledge process is like you have to drive the brothers everywhere.
Got it.
He had already told them no. He's like, I don't have gas for that. Which is understandable because no one had gas, but he still had a small reserve, but he was only willing to use it for himself.
To go to the mall.
Yes. So we went to the mall. And while we're at the mall, who do we see? Yeah, the Pledge Brothers.
Classic.
So the people who are like literally making these rules for him. And we tried to dodge them, but we couldn't. And they were like, Ray, can I talk to you for a second? And they go to talk to him. And they're like, who is that? And he's like, oh, my cousin. Like he had to make it so it was like, because they thought I was his girlfriend. Yeah. So that was like where he was getting in more trouble. But he was like my cousin because he's like, well, you said I could talk to family, you know? And I'm neither girlfriend nor cousin, just a third thing, a friend. And he was like, I just had to buy gloves. Like I'm cold. The winter's starting today. Like, so yeah. And they were like, we'll talk to you later. Anyway, as he's leaving, he told them I drove. I'm like,
oh my God.
He's like, you might have to get into the front seat. I was like, I'm not driving. I don't know how to drive. I'm not driving in the winter in your car without a license or a permit. I'm not doing it. He's like, just shut up. He's like, wait till we get outside. So we go outside and like the coast is clear. So he drives off. And from that day on, we had to keep up the jig that we were cousins to the point where I started seeing someone in that frat.
Oh my God.
And he goes, I heard you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah, he's that's my cousin.
So yeah, that lasted all throughout college.
I love that.
Insane.
A secret cousin.
A secret cousin. So what are some unique gifts that you can DIY for Valentine's Day that are for stoners? I have a couple.
Okay.
You could always make a rose blunt.
Yeah.
Easy. You just take a couple pieces, make sure you're using organic roses.
Yeah, because sometimes there can be stuff in it that's not good. Yeah.
Not that they're not on half the wraps on the market, but definitely just do your best. Get organic roses. Get one. That's all you'll need. You could take a few pieces, put them together. I think you literally lick it.
Yeah. Lick
them together, put them in the oven, very low temp, or the air fryer. Well, maybe not because that more air flowing through it. So just put it in the oven. You'll take it out and then you'll be able to roll it up like a regular blunt. That's romantic and cute. Or alternatively, you can get an actual bouquet, all right, and spruce it up with some skewers.
That's cute.
With nugs on it.
Yeah, that's cute.
Or with like little edibles on it, or like, you know, just like little baggies.
Oh my God, Emma did that for me as like going away present in LA.
That is sweet.
She came through with like the most beautiful bouquet of roses I had literally ever seen. Mm-hmm. And then inside she had put a jar of flour.
That's so
and she
sweet.
was like flowers and flowers.
Oh, that's cute.
And I was like, that's honestly, what a beautiful present.
Another thing you could do is, you know, the classic chocolate boxes.
I've done that.
Replace some of them with nugs.
I've done that mostly for photo shoots and then like given it to my ex because I was like, photo shoot's
You're
done.
like,
Here you go.
Valentine's Day.
Here are nugs I've just manipulated for 20 minutes.
You're like, and the chocolate, I've touched all of them. And then you can do a very simple DIY project, which is infusing chocolate-covered strawberries.
Yeah, that's cool.
So cute, so easy, and very customizable. You could use the type of chocolate you want to use. You could use candy melts to make different colored chocolates. And you just add basically like a little bit of infused coconut oil to your chocolate and dip them and let them dry. Also, you can get creative too and go the edible arrangements route, which is like other fruits that are less expensive than strawberries, because in February, strawberries are out of control in price.
You can get some fucking cantaloupe.
Yes. Some very cheap cantaloupe. You can go pineapple.
Yeah.
Chocolate dip pineapple or like honeydew. Anything that's cheaper.
Yeah.
Even cherries. Very romantic.
Apple.
Yeah. So
banana.
You got options. You know, there's no type of broke that you can be that can't give you a thoughtful gift.
That's what I'm saying, but apparently it was too much for some.
Men are just like, do they have a brain?
If they could, if they wanted to, they would.
That's right. And if they wanted to, whether or not they wanted to, they should. So like, hold yourselves accountable. Have some fun. Love on your family. Love on your community. Love on your peoples. And happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Follow us at Not For Nothing Pod, and we will love you indefinitely. Follow me at How Can I Help You?
And follow me at Natasha PRZ.
Thank you. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.